Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. This video is going to be a nighttime routine. We are still living in our travel trailer, so we have really tight space, and generally I make my bed first thing in the morning, so this is really unusual for me to be making it in the evening. But my bed was not made just because life happened and I still had to get it made. I am one of those that I can't stand getting into a bed until it is made. So it was probably about 5 o'clock in the evening and I had to get the bed made. So that was the first step of getting my house straightened for the night. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I've got to get the bed, at least the bed sheets straightened up, because man, when you get in a bed with the bed sheets all wrinkly, it just doesn't feel good. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing here is trying to get my kitchen cleaned up. It is, I want to say it's like 5 or 5:30, I don't remember. But I'm getting ready to get things cleaned up so that when I do make a mess, that it's not a humongous mess. Our kitchen is extremely small, and we have learned to adapt to it. But when there's already a mess on the kitchen counter, it makes everything twice as hard to get things done because there's just a very limited counter space. So I'm cleaning up and I'm doing some dishes, and I have to get all of this put away before I get dinner started, and it just gives me a little bit more counter space. And this night I was making a meatloaf with some squash, zucchini squash, and it's all in the Instant Pot. The majority of the cooking that I do is in the Instant Pot because number one, I don't have to deal with the oven, and number two, it is super fast and it doesn't heat up the camper like the oven does. So the Instant Pot has just been my go-to for the last 8 months since we've lived in it, and let me tell you, I have made some amazingly delicious meals in the Instant Pot. So if you guys don't have one, I would highly recommend getting an Instant Pot. I will probably, once we move into a house, still be using it because it has just become my staple in cooking meals in general. So highly recommend the Instant Pot.
Stop for us.
So once everything is nice and cleaned out, I'm just going to rinse out the Instant Pot. I think I had made a meal in it that afternoon and just didn't clean it up. I'm just going to place the sleeve back into the pot, and then the recipe that I made is actually in the meal planning that I did for the week, and I have that video coming in the next video clip, or not the next video clip, but the next video that I post will be my grocery haul. Actually, it's not, it's a different one. I'm thinking ahead of myself. I will leave the recipe that I made in the description box if I can. I found it on Pinterest, and like I said, it was a meatloaf. It was so delicious. I cannot tell you guys how good it was. My entire family devoured it. We did the meatloaf and, like I said, the spaghetti squash, and it was just like savory. It just melted in your mouth. It was so yummy. It's definitely one that I will make more than once, and my family is not a huge meatloaf fan, but for some reason this one was just like, just makes you salivate as you're thinking about it. As I'm cooking dinner, the kids are usually outside playing. There's a park that is like, I'm gonna say 5 trailer lengths from where we are. Like I said, we do live in a travel trailer, and there are about 4 trailers between us and the park. So the 2 youngest are at the park, and they're just kind of out of the way. If they are in the camper, it makes things twice as hard to get dinner ready. And I have this very small space, as you can tell. So when they're in there like looking for food or looking for drinks, it literally, I have to like walk around them just to get anything done. So when I'm cooking dinner, they generally need to be outside just so that I can get my stuff done, and that's where they are right now. My oldest, on the other hand, is probably sitting right there on the couch and watching a show or something, but he's just hanging out there. There's not a ton of kids for him to play with outside, so he just kind of hangs inside with me for a little while. I have to say I'm sorry that it's so hard to see what I'm doing from this angle, because we have such a small space. I don't have a whole lot of place to put the camera, so when I'm cooking, you're just probably not going to see a lot of it. I am cracking open some eggs right now. I believe I put in a pound of hamburger meat, and then what I used was a pound of Jimmy Dean maple sausage, which sounds really strange, but it really flavored up the meat. It was so good. So just 1 pound of each, and I did breadcrumbs and an onion, some ketchup, some mustard, some garlic, and I can't remember what else there was. Like I said, I will link the recipe below if I'm able to, but it turned out to be a really, really yummy meal.
Watch the corn grow in the fields. I don't know what's on your mind, but I know that it's something about you and me. I'll stay here for as long as I can, through the storms and through the calm. When you smile at me, I slowly begin to realize that you are the one. But I will sneak a note in your pocket, and I'll leave with your smile in my mind. Wherever we...
So once I have it all mixed up in this bowl, I am just going to take it and kind of form it into a loaf like it's supposed to be. And I'm going to put it in some heavy duty foil and just sort of form a bowl around the meatloaf. And I have to make it thin enough because I'm putting it in the Instant Pot. I do have an 8-quart, but when I put it into the Instant Pot, it's not as much room as you think because I also put the vegetables in there as well. So this is where I'm forming it up, trying to get it to like be as thin as possible. And now I'm just kind of making, like, wrapping up the foil to make a little bowl around it. And then I have to really thin it up so that you'll see when I put it in the in the Instant Pot how I have to kind of squish it and angle it to make sure that they both fit into the pot.
Without a seat for you. And you know I'll walk a million miles for you.
So now that I've got the meatloaf all formed up and in the pan, I am taking some of the zucchini squash. I have a green and a yellow one, and I'm just cutting it up into like little rounds. And I'm going to do this as well. I'm going to take it and put it in the foil, put some salt and pepper on it, as well as some garlic, and make a bowl out of the foil. And then I'm going to like neatly fit it into the Instant Pot. It was a tight fit, but it worked well. I don't know how many of you have Instant Pots, but I took that yellow cup and I filled it like halfway up with water, because basically what the Instant Pot does is like it steams the food. So I put the cup of water into the bottom of the pan, and then it pressure cooks the food. So I put it at 24 minutes or 25 minutes, and then it like works to build up the pressure, and then it cooks the meatloaf, and then it like releases the pressure. Unfortunately, I followed the recipe for 24 minutes and it was not done. I had to put it in for I think an additional 15 minutes before it was done. So total, it was a long time. And my kids were really hungry. Now I'm actually getting some coffee. I tend to kind of have that, afternoon slump, and sometimes I just make some iced coffee. So a lot of times I will brew it and then I'll let it sit for a good like 15-20 minutes and just let it cool down. And then we have an ice machine outside, so I will go get the ice outside and then pour it into like a plastic cup and reuse it. And that's just sort of my like evening treat as I'm cooking. And now I'm just cleaning up the dishes so that it's easier to not wait till after dinner is done. I get as much done as things are cooking and trying to get things cleaned up and put away so that the kitchen looks nice in the evening. Okay, let me tell you that one of the great things about living in this travel trailer is that I have learned how to conserve water. If you'll see, a lot of times I will fill up this bucket with hot water and then I will wash everything that's either in the sink or in the dish pan, and once everything is washed, I will go back and rinse. So I'll have like a whole bunch of like silverware sitting to the side, and once everything is done, then I will turn the faucet on and rinse everything all at once, because we have we probably only have about, I want to say like 10 minutes of water, and then when that water is running, it runs out really fast. So a lot of times if I have a really big sink of water or really big load of dishes, I have to wait for 2 different cycles for the water to get hot again before I can wash the dishes, because then it will start running cold. So that is one thing that I've learned, is kind of how to pace myself with my water as I'm washing my dishes.
small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing.
Okay, I'm realizing now that I completely forgot to film like the finished product or us eating it or anything like that, but let me tell you, the meatloaf was really super good. But it is a little bit later after I've cleaned up the kitchen. Usually the kids do that part, but sometimes it gets too late and they just need to get ready for bed. So that's what they're doing now. They're getting their pajamas on and getting their teeth brushed, and I'm trying to get the kitchen cleaned up before I go to bed. I like to get things a little bit tidy before I go to bed so that I'm not waking up to a huge mess. So they're getting their pajamas on, getting their teeth brushed, saying goodnight to everybody, and it was probably about 9 o'clock at this point, because that's about the time they usually go to bed. So that's my oldest thinking that he's going to stay up a little bit later, which sometimes he does, but can't remember on this night what he was doing. I think I was getting ready to give him a hug and he wasn't ready. So yeah, they're getting ready to go to bed, and then I'm going to get the kitchen settled and get everything else cleaned up, and then you'll see me start editing a video.
Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna.
So at this point I had realized that the kids didn't really clean up their mess from when they took showers, and I was just taking a washcloth and wringing it out and hanging it up. If I don't, it'll get nasty and moldy. I was pulling the shower curtain out to even everything up, and then clearing out the counter space. All the toothpaste had to go back in the mirror, and I had to put my shampoo and conditioner back in the bathtub. And I don't know, everything needs to look nice and tidy before I go to bed so that I actually am able to rest and kind of feel at peace knowing that I did my mommy duties for the day.
In this town, look at the beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break. I lost my ways, no words to say. You're on my mind, and time flies by.
Alright, so here I'm getting ready to fold like 3 different loads of laundry. One great thing about living in a travel trailer or in the park like we're living at is we don't have a washer and dryer in our camper. We have a laundromat. And what that means is that I take all of the clothes for the week and I take it to the laundromat, and they have 6 washers and 6 dryers here. So I get to take all of my clothes and separate them out and put them in 1 washer each, so about 3 washers usually during the week and 3 dryers, and my clothes are usually done like completely in an hour and a half. So then I come back to the trailer, and with my entire basket full of clothes, I take time to fold them. And here I am with 5 different piles because we have 5 people in our family, and a load of socks. Can't forget the socks. So we have my youngest Mason, we have our daughter Savannah. You'll see that Savannah's clothes are probably the most stacked at this point. And then we have Grant's clothes, who he actually didn't have that much this time. And then we have mine and my husband's, which I normally pile in the same stack. And then after I'm done with everything else, then I'll go back and do the socks. So that's what I'm getting done right now. And I'm actually watching my phone because I have Dave Ramsey playing. And if you guys don't watch him or follow him, I highly suggest you check him out. He is very motivational. He's very smart with his money, and we try to follow the Dave Ramsey method. We haven't done too much of the cash envelope system, but I love following Dave Ramsey. He's very smart. He's very educated. We are currently debt free. We are getting ready to buy a house, so that will obviously put us into debt, but other than that, we owe nothing to anybody other than obviously our mortgage coming up soon. So we are in a pretty good financial spot, and one of the reasons is because of listening to Dave Ramsey. I do hope to be doing like a budget video soon, but our finances are like all loopy right now because we are buying a house and we have significantly enough money in the bank right now to pay all the closing costs and everything that is necessary to buy a home, which I have another video coming up on that as well. But it is an interesting process to buy a home, which I'm sure most of you know, but this is our very first time buying a house, and so for us it's a little bit daunting, but we are ready to do it. We've been married 18 years, finally retired out of the Marine Corps, and ready to put down some roots, so we are finally buying our first house. But anyways, I will be doing a budgeting video probably within the next month or two, once we get everything like a little bit more calmed down with the money. So yeah, stay tuned for that if you're interested, but I'm hopefully able to like refine our envelope system and how we do our actual budget.
Still got your pearls hanging by my bedside. Still got your lips on paper in a trash now. I never knew love could be so sweet. I never knew.
So this is where I start to settle down for the night. It's probably, I don't know, 10 o'clock or so. This is normally when I edit my videos. It's actually what I'm doing right now, is editing and doing my voiceover for this video. I tend to take about, I don't know, a day and a half to do the videos because the computer that I'm using is super old. It's a Mac, and it's as old as my daughter, who's 10. So it's very congested and it doesn't like to work all the time. So I will have to download my videos to the computer, and then I'll pull them into iMovie, and once I get them into iMovie, then I will like listen to the whole clip and start editing, and then I'll add music to it, and after the music is added, then I'll add the voiceover. So I'm probably trying to get, the videos uploaded and probably Pinteresting right now. But yeah, that's kind of my evening routine. From like 10 to 11 is usually the time that I'm chilling and taking care of my videos and getting ready to settle in for the night.
Love could pass, tomorrow comes, and you are not around, feels uneasy. Oh, Emily, when did you fall right out of love? Oh, Emily, when did the magic stop for us? Oh, but Emily, you are the part of me I feel. It will kill me when you leave.
Okay, so if you guys have made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate the support. The watch time on my videos sometimes is not the highest, so if you're watching to the end, I greatly appreciate it. The support is just amazing. I'm really trying hard to grow my channel, so if you can think of anybody that would enjoy my channel, please let me know or share my video. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some suggestions of what you're interested in seeing, and I will be happy to see if I can make those videos happen. My husband's popping into bed now, which is very funny because he waves at the camera when he realizes that it's on. He is not a huge YouTube person. He doesn't really like to be on the camera very often, so he's just being silly right now. Once he realizes that I have the camera on, I mean, he supports what I do, but he's not always loving to be on the camera. I think for him it's still kind of awkward, but he was saying hi to you guys, so that was sweet of him. But anyways, so yeah, if you can give this video a thumbs up, let me know if you enjoyed it. I'm really hoping to do some more updated stuff once we get into our house, but that's going to be another few weeks, which I'm so excited about. But anyways, we are getting ready to head to bed, and I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching my channel, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, we will talk to you in the next video. Thank you guys so much, and have an awesome night.